Hi, good morning, everyone. So today we are going to talk about Azure DevOps pipeline. What is Azure DevOps pipeline and why do we use it? So basically, Azure DevOps pipeline is a service which enables you to deploy your code dynamically and constantly. So if you come across the Azure pipeline, so click on Azure pipeline, and here you will get an option to create a pipeline. So once you click on this, it will ask you where is your code. So if you want to pull your code from remote uh, you know uh, services, you can just pick and choose any of these from the list. And the other option is that inside DevOps, if your branch is already there, so my branch is already there, so I'm just picking that one, and so more. So basically, this project is dependent upon Node.js. So I'll select Node.js, and after selecting this, you can see the YML file is automatically creating. So basically, it is trying to create the build process for your pipeline, and it will try to install Node.js and all the other dependencies which are uh, dependencies for your project. So click save and run. So what will happen basically, this will create a pipeline, and it will try to run the pipeline. But as of now, I do not have subscription for Azure DevOps, but you can see the pipeline is running in the background. So but I am getting this error. So basically, I do not have subscription, and because of that, I'm getting this kind of message. So how can we get rid of this? We have to subscribe our Azure services, so that you have to enter your payment details and all. So whatever as you use, you can pay that uh, strategy will be applied on you. So this is the basic way you can create your pipeline. After creating pipeline, you can come to environment, and you can create your environment. So let's say if your application needs to be hosted on different environments like Azure, uh, like dev, production, UAT, or whatever environment you want to deploy for the testing purpose, you can just mention dev, and this is dev. So just select none, create dev. So you can see the environment has been added successfully. And if you see, if you want to host this environment, you have two options: Kubernetes, virtual machines. You can pick and choose, you can go next, but I do not have subscriptions. So it is just trying to trying to load my subscription from the Azure side. I do not have any subscription. Okay, because of that, it is not allowing me to go further. So I'll come back, but you can see how you can create the environments. After creating environments, you can come to release, and there you can start your release. So if environments are created, if you want to create release, so you have to select one template. So just I want to host my uh, website on the Azure App Services deployment. So what is Azure App Services? Azure App Services is cloud computing based platform to hosting your web applications. And you can just pick and choose. After picking that, that will be created, stage is you know uh, created. And if you want to add another stage, you can manage that, and you can just pick and choose and apply. So these are the stages which are going to be created. So you can just if you want to manage that, you can say tab and close it. If you want to manage this one, if you want to change the naming convention, you can mention QA, close it. And if you want to create another likewise stage, so you can just apply. So all these stages are connected to app services of Microsoft Azure. There will be these all services will be hosting all the website on Azure website portal for app, on the app services. So this is going to be UAT, you can say, and just save it. If you want to from dev to QA, and this also you can add another services, you can mention the final, that is going to be prod, it means production. And if you want to add the before and prior to deployment, if you want to add some policies, you can add these policies which are appearing on screen. So you can just pull request deployment, schedule pre-deployment, enable this. And who is the approver, you can mention that. You can just mention all this. So this you can just do the post deployment. You can mention the name of the approver, and when does it expire, how much in a days or minute in hours, that you can mention. and you can mention or you can configure lots of things which are already available. So this is how we can create our environment. If you see, we are getting red quick, so select that what is that required. So actually basically we do not have subscription, and because of that it is giving error. So just uh, go back to task, go to pipeline, you can come back here, and this is artifact. You can add your artifact. Where is your code? Build Azure repo. So you can just pick and choose my project. You can pick which branch you want to deploy my project, and then later you can default branch Azure pipeline, and all this has been added. You can see the this has been added. So repos and branch is already added in the artifact. You can disable, enable all this which you can mention. So this is how you can set up the Azure pipeline. I could not go further because I do not have much subscription on this. If I would have gotten subscription from Microsoft Azure, I would have definitely shown you how you can go further and how you can manage your configurations. And these are the variables. If you want to add variables, you can just simply add the variables like uh, if you have connection, if you have to, if your application is dependent upon a database SQL connection, you can just add it. You can assign the value as well. Whatever value you want to assign, you can give the values, and you can just mention that you can add another variable name required. So this is how you can add the variables as well. And if you find another variables, pipeline variables, so these are the variables which you can just mention over there. uh, Options are, if you go into the option, you can find descriptions, integrations, all this you can just mention. So you can see this is deb. After deploying into deb, add action, your devops stage 5, stage 1, and just do it. From there it will go to here. It means this, likewise you can create your own environments, which will definitely help you a lot in managing the code. And if you see, everything is directly means after uh, building artifact, and after doing successfully compilation, it is going to deploy your code into this tab environment. And this tab environment is directly configured with Microsoft Azure app services. So what is called app services? So if you'll go to the Microsoft Azure portal, so this is basic website look. This is, I do not have any subscription, so I cannot go further, but you can just have a look that Azure, welcome to Azure. And I'm talking about app services. So if you search app services, so you'll get the app services somewhere in the list. So you can see I got an error, and here you can just start with your app services. So once your app services is configured, you can just simply integrate your app services here. So directly the moment you promote the code and it's get compiled successfully, it will go to the Azure DevOps here. And after getting after deployment, you can come to app services, and in you can just click on the app services, and that respective app services will be opened. So I will show you how services looks alike. Services, your image. So I will just show you that how app services looks like. So this is I'm talking about, just open a new tab and see. Open image in new tab. So you can see this is the app service. Once you click this, you can see your app services. Once you click on that, you'll go inside, you will get more insight. This is how you can also go to Microsoft page. So this is actual the app services. So you have lots of properties you can apply to this. You can see cars. So if you want to apply, if you are hosting a web API, you can just use your cars policy. You can app services, extensions, clone app, console, all these services you can utilize, alerts, all this you can just configure into your app. And the another most famous service for you as a developer is application insight. So application insight means what? Application Insight is basically a log manager service. So basically, in a traditional way, we were logging our service of failures and all the logs of our application on directly database or in some file. But this has been automated by the Microsoft Azure team. So Azure portal gives you one another service called App Insight. So App Insight will enable you to trace all the logs and activity of your application. So you have to just configure app services. So you have to uh, pass instrumentation key on your um, code. Means if you are developing Angular or .NET code, so there you can configure in startup file your app services, and that key will be given from this website, and that you can configure. So you can start logger, and all the activity will be logged on your website. So you'll go to home on the portal.azure.com, and because of that we do not have much subscription, so we are not able to explore much in detail, but we'll cover overview what is application insight we covered, and what is app services, virtual machine. So if you want to take a virtual machine personally and you want to host your website manually, all all those stuffs you can do. You can also see SQL database. So if you have application you want to use or database, so you can use SQL database, Azure Cosmos DB, Kubernetes. All these services are available on Azure site. And if you see uh, other services are there in the left side panel, you can see these are the services which are function app. If you want to automate something, you can use function app. If you want to use virtual machine, that you can use. If you want to add load balancer for your website, you can use load balancer. So you have to just get the subscriptions, and you can just explore by your side as well. And if you see, so these are the services which you can get after getting the subscriptions of Microsoft Azure. So that's enough, I think. So once we'll get the subscriptions, we can explore much about this. And Azure Active Directory, so you can see all the time I'm getting notifications you do not have subscriptions. Azure Active Directory is very critical point, means where you can just create a group, and in that you can assign the users. So based upon their ID group, they will be able to access the applications components, whatever whatever group they are in. That will enable the users to experience other component of your website and application. So this is called DevOps pipeline. So this is directly linked to your Azure DevOps site, and you can just get the subscriptions and you can explore more. So you just see that how you can create a pipeline, how you can create stays, how you can set environment, and you can release. So you know this is a small video for you that you can explore Azure DevOps. So this is for beginner and middle level software developers. So now you have got complete overview and basic knowledge of Azure DevOps, how you can just get started with it. It's very simple. You have to just be curious about this, and rest will be upon you. So if there is a will, there is a way. So you have to just start with that uh, point, and everything is up. So if you go to my project, I have done everything. So this is for the demonstration purpose and tracking purpose. You can customize your dashboard, you can use wiki, you can use summary. All this will stuff will be very handful for you. The boards is for the managing and tracking task, and discussing about what is going on. So all the companies on daily basis, they have their stand up, they talk about what they are working on. They follow the agile methodology. All these points they cover. Apart from that, there is a backlog. You can choose and pick, create task, and you can assign to respective developers. Queries, if you want to generate a query, you can simply click on query. You will get an um, different types of options. So if you want to work item equal to, or contains, you can just contains. I will just search you, show you. If I'll enter this, run the query, um, delete this, work item contains error, run this. Okay, so in this project, in this directory, I think we do not have. Uh, Let me run one again. Okay, so I'm not getting any because it is not, no task is matching the criteria. Contains Angular. Now let me run. Okay, so there is no task, which that's why I'm not getting that. So this is the query. You can save it. You can run it later on. Uh, we talked about overviews, boards, repos, and pipelines. So these are the very famous services which are utilized by organizations and developers team. And if you are very keen to learn cloud based technology, you can just get started with it. So this was a small video for Azure DevOps, and hope you would have enjoyed. If you would have enjoyed, so please subscribe our channel and like it. We'll cover another technology in our next playlist. So till then, take care. Bye.